Our next speaker, you know, I met Bob and Michelle years ago, and he was like me. He used to own a franchise. Anybody here used to own like a real estate office? How much fun was that? So we shared stories back and forth, how much fun it was to put our name on leases and buy furniture and all that kind of stuff. But I got to know him, and it's so funny how we have parallel lives. And then Bob had a little accident. I got to tell you, don't get on ladders. And he'll tell you his story. But I didn't find out about this later, that he had had an accident. And he's going to tell you what revenue share's done for his life when you do have an accident or something like that. So straight from Phoenix, Arizona, and Prescott, Arizona, Bob Mangold.
All right, thanks so much. I appreciate you being here. You can see the numbers, so they are what they are. But really what I want to start out with is anybody that you've seen come across this stage in the last couple of days or even in the last, half hour, they didn't do it alone. They have a team behind them. They have people behind them. So I think it's important to have gratitude about what you have. And it's real easy when things are going good, but it's not always so easy when things are going bad, right? So I just thought I'd start out. I want to do some gratitude. Pat and Angel Hayes, I can't see past here, so I don't know where you're at. But guys, there's no place else I'd rather go on, or there's nobody else that I'd rather go on this journey with than Pat and Angel. Pat, thank you for making that phone call. And most importantly, that phone call has changed my children's lives and my grandchildren that I don't even have. So when you think about making that phone call, my goal today is to give you a different way of looking at it. Our entire RevShare group, I can't see you guys out there. I know a bunch of you are out there. Without you guys, we're nothing. And all the contributions that you put into it, it's on you, baby. It's you did this. Gene, what an amazing mentor. Taught us how to do three-way calls. A mentor, a friend. If I need something, you pick up the phone. Rob Flick, man, the guy will just tell you straight what you need to do and just be quiet and listen to him. Scott Lewis, Tracy Lewis, when we first started, we were there. They were there. They helped us get the ship or the plane up in the air. Brent, Gove, I want to give you guys an idea. You've heard a lot of people tell you that the people you surround yourself with will make a difference in your life. So about every 2 months, on a Thursday night at about 5 o'clock, I'll get a call from Brent. Hey, dude, how you doing? What's going on? Anything I can do for you? You need to understand, I'm not in Brent's revenue share group. He just calls to check. That's pretty cool. So, and then James, as I kind of go through this, James and I have talked a lot. We've developed a friendship and a relationship through that, and I really do appreciate it. And then truly, I know none of the Arizona brokers are here, but man, we've got some of the best brokers in this company ever. So I wanted to send a shout out to them, right? We don't hear that enough for the brokers, right? So my biggest mistake financially in my life was that I didn't start right away. I waited a year to talk to agents. Now I can tell you all the BS that went through my head that made me wait, but it doesn't matter. I can tell you economically how much it cost. So my message to you today is don't wait, start now. And I'm going to give you some tools and tips today that will help you go out and start talking to people like tomorrow, okay? So my goal today is to offer you a little bit different perspective on recruiting. Recruiting is the only time you'll ever hear me say the word recruiting is here with you guys. I never use the word recruit, and I'm not embarrassed about it. I just use different language. My goal today is to tell you a story so that you can think about the results and the effect it has on you. Because here's the thing, guys, it's not about you. You get all caught up in, this person didn't come, or they told me no. And you get married to your results. Get married to the process and understand what you're doing for people. So with that, I want to just let you know the power of your questions will determine your future net worth. Here's the thing. How many of you guys want to become rich? All right, cool. You just need to start asking better questions. It's really that simple. There is no recruiting, it's asking questions. So I'm going to share my story with you today. I'm going to show you how it helped give me some pretty good questions that are pretty effective. But there's other reasons that I want to share that story. So, boy, I look really big up there, don't I? Can we all agree, guys, that you could not work with a buyer in that condition? What do you think? Could you go on a listing presentation? To give you some context, you can see the cars back there. That was 30 minutes for me to get in the hallway. October 13th of 2018, we had a rainstorm in Phoenix. We only have like 5, maybe 8, 10 days a year of rain. This was the end of a tropical depression out of Baja California. It was raining hard. We had a roof leak. The water was coming through my kitchen fixture. We were supposed to leave, and my daughter was supposed to come home. And I didn't want to leave and have her come home and turn the switch on and have it short out and start the house on fire. So despite my 62-year perfect history of never being able to do a home repair, today was the day, baby. This perfect record is going down. So I proceed to go get the ladder. I put the ladder up at the top of the roof. I go get a couple of tarps, got a couple of cement blocks, and I start climbing, baby. Now, the result was not that great, but I'll be honest with you, as I'm going up, it's like, man, for a 62-year-old guy, I got pretty good balance going up this thing, hanging on to stuff. It's like, cool. I get to the top of the roof. I put one leg on the roof. I put my left leg on the roof, or left foot on the roof, and I pushed off with my right foot. And at that moment, I realized that I forgot something really, really important. Somebody to hold the ladder. The last thing I remember was flailing away, trying to grab something in the air. And I either said or thought, oh shit. Fortunately, that's the last thing I remember until I regained consciousness. As I came down, Michelle was like, what is he doing? She comes walking out the patio door as I'm coming down. Somehow, I had gone from falling backwards to turning over. Don't know how I did it. I had nothing to do with it. As she tells it, when I hit the ground, because of all the extra padding that I have, I bounced like a basketball. So literally, I bounced. So it sounds pretty funny, but it wasn't really. When I regained consciousness, all I remember is looking at all the blood, going, oh my God. I landed on our concrete patio. I tried to take a breath and I couldn't breathe. And I tried to move and I couldn't move. You know how they say your life flashes before you? Right, I didn't die, but I had all these things start going through my head now. What is my life going to be like in a wheelchair? Oh my God, I can't breathe. What's going to happen if I spend the rest of my life in a bed on a ventilator? I seen my daughters walking down the aisle for their weddings without me in it. All this stuff was happening, like however long it took, I don't know. I got mad at myself, like, you dumbass. And that's all I could think about. And I put my head down, I closed my eyes, and the truth is I had this calm come over me. And I realized I'm not paralyzed because holy crap, the pain from my head to my toes was so intense. Everything on the left side of my body was just decimated. I broke my ribs, my wrist. I had messed up my shoulder. I had a head injury. But most importantly, when I hit the ground, I broke my hip. It's called the acetabulum bone. It's the one that holds your leg into your hip. Yeah, it is as bad as it sounds. I did refuse the paramedics, so that's a whole different story I don't have time for. But eventually I made my way to the emergency room later that day. Here's the funniest part. I was totally convinced I pulled a muscle. she's like, Bob, you got to go to the hospital. My kids are calling. My daughter comes home. It's like, dude, you got to go. It's like, no, I just pulled a muscle. Really, it's good. Anyway, I make it to the hospital. They do their assessments. The doctor comes in and he goes, well, I got good news and bad news for you. Which one do you want? I said, well, it's been a pretty crappy day so far. Lay it on me, baby. He says, you're going to be in for months and months of horrifically painful physical therapy. It's going to be a grind. It's going to be tough. I said, okay, cool. The good news. He goes, well, today was not your day. You should not have survived what you just did. But it wasn't your day. And I told him we have this joke in the house. It's like, Bob's like, he's got 9 lives. We just don't know where he's at in the count. So at the end of the day, as I'm sitting there, I had surgery on Monday to replace my hip. On Tuesday, surgeon comes in, the physical therapy people come in and they go, well, the best you can hope for is that you'll be in a walker for 3 to 4 months and in a cane for a couple months, and after 6 months, you should be able to walk on your own. And I just looked there, it's like, yeah, that plan doesn't work for me. It's like, I need to be walking in a month. And they're like, sir, I don't think you realize what you just did to yourself. And it's like, I promise you, I'm uniquely qualified to tell you what happened and how bad it is. I'm the one laying in the bed with the thing blowing up your leg, right, to keep circulation and everything, right, can't move. But they wanted to put a limitation on me and say it's going to take 6 months. My only answer was, no, it's 1 month. How does that relate to what we do? Here's my question. If that happened to 99.5% of all real estate agents, what would happen to them financially? What would happen to their cash flow? What would happen to their family? When I talk to an agent now, before we pick up the phone or we do anything, I actually visualize a doctor trying to tell this agent, you ain't going to be able to work for 6 months. Because at the end of the day, I can help agents financially. I tell you this story not because I love it, but you get to decide what you want to do with it. You can wait. You can do it. But what happens if something happens to you? Because guess what, folks? Bad stuff happens to good people every day. I promise there are people in this audience right now that have something going on. It could be you. It could be a spouse. It could be a child. It could be a parent. It could be marital problems, divorces, anything that prevents you from working. What would happen to your life if you did that? The good news is, guys, I can help anybody with that. They have to want the help. So if they tell me no, so sorry. So, real quick, how many of you guys would want the exact business plan that I put in place 2 years prior to that accident that allowed me to be 100% incapacitated, yet the first month that I was in the hospital, between the trauma unit and the physical therapy hospital, our income went up 71%. So how many of you guys want that business plan? I can't see you, so shout it out. Give me a hell yeah. All right, here's where we put it for you. Go to your career page. Scroll about 3/4 of the way down. It's called the EXP presentation. Learn that thing and start talking to people. That's the business plan, right? So I want to give you some actionable items. Words you use matter. I do not call revenue share. It's called referral fees. I don't call it a lunch and learn. It's a business plan. It's a strategy session. It's a business model, not a compensation plan. And it's not stock. It's ownership stake. And it's mentorship, not coaching. So how many of you guys, I'm going to give you a question that so far hundreds and hundreds of agents have never said no to, that you could go pick up the phone tomorrow and fill a room with a lunch and learn. And if you knew that you couldn't get a no, how many of you guys would actually do it? Yell it out for me. I can't see you. If I could show you how to replace your transaction income with referral fee income in the next 24 to 36 months, is that something you'd be open to? Here's some cool stuff. When they go, oh, all you guys do is recruit, or any of the objections, like, I don't recruit anybody. I help agents reposition their cash flow so that over the next 24 to 36 months, they can replace their transaction income with referral fee income. That's something you'd be open to learn how to do in your business? Who's going to say no to that, folks? And then, oh, by the way, oh, yeah, I love my broker, right? We hear all that. Hey, by the way, who helps you out with that at your company, or did you hire a coach to help you with that? What do you mean you love your broker? They're not teaching you? It makes a difference, doesn't it? So here's the thing, perfect timing. So I was told that I wouldn't be able to take and move or be able to walk normally for about 6 months, and I'd be back normal a year from now. 1 year later, that's me at the top of the roof. Now, what I didn't tell you, I failed on the month deadline. Thanksgiving was November 29th of that year. I fell on October 13th. 5 weeks and 5 days later, I walked into Thanksgiving dinner at my sister-in-law's house. No walker, no cane, no nothing. What if I would have listened to those doctors? They were smart. They weren't telling me anything to hurt me, right? What would have happened if I listened to them? Stop listening to people. Stop letting people put a limit on your expectations. And most importantly, you stop it. Because here's the reality, folks. Your story is true, but it's not real. If you want to tell yourself, I can't do this, they can't do this, here's why, you're right. Your story's true. But I've seen one thing. There was a whole bunch of people that came up here that had hundreds and hundreds and thousands of agents in their RevShare group. So if you're telling yourself your story is you can't recruit, you can't do it, or any of that, it's true. It's just not real. So I'd actually encourage you, set higher expectations for yourself. Don't let anybody tell you what you can accomplish. Only you can pick that out. Only you can dictate that. You're in control. So with that, thanks for listening. I hope it helped. And we'll see you guys soon.